Yes, uh, good morning to everyone. So today topic is prototype or process design and development, and I am Dr. Nageswara Sirisala, working as an associate professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering in KSRM College of Engineering, Kadapa, Andhra Pradesh. So this lecture is prepared being a part of IIC Impact Lecture Series. And in today's session, I am going to cover the topics: what is the motivation of startup companies, and what is the difference between business and startup companies, what is the need of developing prototype for our real product, and what are the phases and cycles to be followed while you are preparing the prototyping for your real product, and phases of the prototype, and what is the physical and virtual prototype. And finally, after completion of this prototype concept, I'm taking my one funding project that is also related to the startup companies. So briefly I will discuss, and at abstract level I will cover my funding project details also. So, first of all, what is the motivation to start the startup companies, or what is the need of startup companies? Okay, before going to that, let us verify the Indian unemployment status. Okay, so here we gathered some of the statistics from the Indian Statistical Department. So here in India, right now we are having the 8.0 percentage of unemployment, but here we consider the age group from 15 to 65 age group. So according in that age group, right now India is having the 8% unemployment, and this figure is from urban areas 9.2 and rural areas it is 7.4. Okay, it may be looking like a small figure, but when compared with the Indian population like 143 crores of the people, even 8% also having the huge number of people are not having job. And so, what is the solution? Can we provide a job, or can we give the job opportunities to each and everyone in this huge people population? No, it is not possible. So the solution is starting the startup companies. With the startup companies, the youth can self-employed, or they can give the opportunities even to the other unemployment people. So with this motivation, even our Indian government, central government is encouraging the youth people for startup companies. But what is the reality? Okay, so see in this statistics here in India, uh, nearly we received 3 lakh 4,000 of 3 lakh 4,047 applications, but among them only 16,202 applications got registered. Even from the 16,000 applications, only 182 funding projects, I mean, startup companies got approved. So, compared with the number of applications received, this figure is 0.01, even less than 0.01. Then, why the startup companies are getting failed? That is the biggest question in our India. Okay, so these are all the some of the factors people not succeeding in running the startup companies, like no market need, run out of cash, not the right time, and get outcome competent, and price and cost issues, poor product, and a lack of business model. This is also very important uh, reasons, and poor marketing, ignoring customers. So these are all the some of the selecting the bad location. All these are all the top reasons why the startup companies are getting failed. And one more thing, here we got some information of some of the startup companies in India, and number of jobs provided by the startup companies. We can see here. Okay, so what is the solution to this one? people are very interested to start the startup companies, but they are lack of knowledge how to run their startup companies. So we need to give the sufficient training or skills to provide the skills to the people, especially entrepreneurs. We need to give the entrepreneur education system should be provided to the people so that they can run their startup companies, and they can successfully establish new ideas, and they will translate their ideas into the real time products. Okay, what is the definition of the startup company? So, according to the internet sources, we can say working towards innovation, development, or improvement of products or services or process is called startup company. So, startup company means definitely startup company expect the some innovative solution to the real time problem facing by the people or in society. Okay, there is a lot of confusion in society. Is startup company is similar to the business companies, normal business companies? No, not at all. So there is a certain differences between the business, normal business, and startup companies. Okay, so here we compare the business and startup companies with the with respect to of some parameters according to the innovation. Okay, business will never requires any innovation ideas. Okay, wherever it is needed, there you can start your business. For example, one area is there, that area is remote, and we cannot find out any restaurants there, so there you can start the one restaurant and you can run your own business. But according to the startup company always proposes one unique or some improved solution over the existing products or process. And scope, coming to the scope, based on your requirement you can expand your business, like means statewide or countrywide, even worldwide. But startup company, if the solution is working, if your solution is a viable solution, then automatically that will be applicable even in other states, other countries also. And growing rate, normal business companies will take some time to get increased, but whereas startup companies will take the time, even years together. And coming to profit, in business, from day first onwards you can expect the returns, but you cannot expect the returns in startup companies. And team and management, yes, based on your requirement you can recruit or you can deploy any number of employees in your company or business. But in startup company, the role of the uh, person who started the company is very crucial. He should be very skilled person, and then only he can train other people and can run the startup company successfully. So these are all the major differences between the business and startup company. One should have the clear idea, then only he can understand the applications and properties of startup companies. Okay, these are the some of top 10 startup companies in India, like CRED and Vernacular, Farm Easy, Digit Insurance, Misho, Grow, Nika, Udhan, Dream, Swiggy, all this, and their founders and headquarters. Okay, product development process. So in startup company, whether it is a process or product, that should be follow some stages like ideation. Next step is product definition, prototyping, detailed design, validation or testing, finally commercialization. So every product or process you should go through these six step of phases, from starting from ideation to commercialization. Among these, we are now discussing about the only one of the phases, that is called prototyping. Okay, let us see briefly about each and every phase of product or process development. Ideation. In ideation, you have to identify the problem which is facing by the some group of people or community of people, and second one is product definition. So in this phase, you need to gather the real requirement. Once the requirement gathering is perfect, then only you can go to the prototyping. Third one is prototyping. What is the prototyping? Prototyping is the yearly release model of your real time product. Okay, so by designing the correct prototyping, you will be having the clear idea on your product manufacturing. Next one, detailed design. In detailed design, you can start your uh, real time product. And the next one is validation and testing. In validation and testing, you can take the end user experience, or you can test it. You take the feedback. If any errors are there, you can correct it. And finally, if your product is acceptable and customers are feeling good, then you can take that product into the market and start commercialization of your product. So these are all the steps to be followed in product development. Okay. uh, Even this is also similar concept here. Startup development phases. Even startup also the output of startup also providing the some solution or product. Even that solution or product should follow these steps like ideation, concepting, commitment, validation, scaling, and establishing. uh, so here, in it is we can divide these steps into three phases: pre-startup, startup, and growth. In pre-startup, what we will do, ideation and preparing the POC, proof of concept. So in ideation, as we discussed, you need to identify the problem statement or societal problem, and proof of concept, idea to proof of concept. What is the meaning of proof of concept? Proof of concept is you should have certain proofs that your idea or product is going to be work or is going to give the solution to the problem. Once you are having the proof, then you can go for developing the prototype. What is the advantage to develop the prototype? Prototype, having the suitable prototype, you can exhibit it in any uh, exhibitions or project expos. Then you can grab the investments from the investors. That is the advantage of developing prototype. And you need to verify that prototype is MVP or not, minimum viable product or not. Minimum viable product means your product is able to give the solution to the uh, problem which you targeted, and followed by testing or scale up. In testing or scale up, based on the feedback you have collected from the end user, you can do the some modifications, or you can scale up or scale down also if it is required. And finally, once your product is successfully completed with these phases, then finally you can go for the commercialization of or marketing of your product. Okay, let's discuss prototyping phase. What is the definition of prototype? Prototype is an early sample, model, or release of product built to test a concept or process, or to act as a thing to be replicated or learned from. Okay. So prototype is nothing but a replica of your real model or real product. And these are all the prototyping phases. So as we discussed, the first it will follow the initial investigation. After that, requirement gathering, system design, coding, testing, review. These phases will be recurrently run. In this recurrent process, if any errors are identified in next cycle, that will be recovered. Once this process is completed, then you go for the real-time implementation of the or manufacturing of the your product, followed by finally maintenance. So this is a one simple example of preparing of prototype. In startup companies, the very cheap and riskless procedure is developing of computer apps. That is the thing. So I want to develop one computer app. For that, what I will do first, I will prepare the paper prototyping. On paper, I will draw one sketch how it looks like, that and all. And next stage, what I will do, I will identify the functionalities or module for that application. And later on, I will add some more computer related or computer language related some functionalities I will identify. And next, I will go for the implementation of that application. This is a step by step procedure to develop an prototyping of any product. And this is the prototype cycle. So first analysis and a quick design, and later on recurrently I will go through the demonstrate, refine, and development. Once it is your product is clear, come across of successfully all these phases, then I will go for the development followed by testing. Okay, these are the six stages of developing a prototyping. The first one is problem understanding, problem analysis and solution planning, research and brainstorm. Next phase is prototyping and testing stage. Okay. Okay. Different types of prototype. Prototype categories. Okay. The first one is working prototype. Second one is visual prototype and user experience prototype. Another one is functional prototype. So what is the difference between these different type of prototypes? So let us discuss different type of prototype categories. Working prototype. Working prototype is a just like a working replica of your real product. I mean, how you are expecting your real product to work. What is the functional working functionality of your real product that should be reflected in your working prototype. And next one is visual prototype. Visual prototype. Through the visual prototype, the end user will should feel that he is looking real product. How the real product should looks like in size and shape, color. Everything should be reflected. Mimics the real product in visual prototype. User experience prototype. In a user experience prototype, the prototype should gives the feel to the end user that he is working or using the real product. Next one is functional product prototype. Functional prototype is also similar to the working prototype, but here it is much closer to the end product. Okay, types of prototyping. Uh, from olden days to nowadays, the designing of prototype has come across these different type of phases. The initial days is people used to prepare the physical prototyping. Physical prototyping means it will follow the traditional method. I mean, preparing the one physical model to reflect the original product. And later on people use the some technology like computer aided tools like CAD/CAM tools to simulate the working principles of the or to mimic the working principles of the real-time product. But now, the with the help of advanced technology, people are using virtual or augmented reality technology to give the user that he is using or utilizing the services of the end product. So here we can see the different phases of product development. So as we discussed first, we need to fix the concept or problem or ideation. Once the problem is fixed, next you go with the review. Okay, every phase in product development should consist of reviews. After completion of one phase, you have to take the review of the experts. Based on the reviews and feedback given by the experts, you need to take the corrections. Okay, so here I'm starting with concept, presenting that concept in front of the panel members and taking their feedback. With that feedback, I'm starting the digital model of prototype and next and preparing the proof of concept, and again that proof of concept presenting with the in front of the panel members or experts. Next, preparing the functional prototype, and next that functional prototype also presented in front of the reviewers, taking the reviewers feedback, and next I will go with the dry run or test run of your prototype, and next finally I am going to the production. Okay, these are all the phases to be followed to prepare the perfect product or process. Yeah, so the same concept even here also explained. Okay, let us go to the next slide here. See, as we discussed, traditional methods to prepare the prototype or advanced methods to prepare the prototype. What is the difference? And economically, how it reflects by using advanced methods in preparing the prototype. See, uh, the cost estimation of the prototype preparation using traditional method, it is incurred approximately 5 lakh 9,000 dollar, and whereas here by using the virtual or virtual reality prototype, here it incurred $85,000. See, we can see the lot of difference between the traditional way of preparation of prototyping and advanced way of preparation of prototyping. Okay, so we have covered all the topics related to the prototype design for our real product, and now I will briefly discuss some of the details of our funding project that is related to the startup companies. Okay, so this is one of the DST projects. So title of the project is characterizing the scope, opportunities, challenges, and future trends in technology entrepreneurship education in India. And my friend Dr. Munishekar Velpuri is principal investigator, and I am Dr. S. Nageswara acting as a co-investigator. Okay. So, what the objective of this DST project is the it is also, I mean, encouraging the entrepreneurships, young entrepreneurship, to help them to success their startup companies. As we discussed in the starting of this session, many of the younger entrepreneurs starting their startup companies, but they are not able to run and they are not able to continue their startup companies over the long period. So here, our objective of this project is first assess the current level of technology entrepreneurship education in India, and identify the opportunities and challenges faces by the technical entrepreneurship education, and identify the gaps in research, or identify the problem statements in society, like virtual healthcare to the rural villages, or increasing the mobility for disability and connecting people through social network apps. So this is the objectives identified for our funding project. And here we these are all the phases we conducted already. Background research, this is nothing but literature survey. Data collection means requirement gathering. Next one is analysis part, and final one is validation. For this validation purpose, already we have formed one expert team from the business schools, Hyderabad Business School. We taken their initial approval to go ahead. So these are all the phases we are in. And what is the outcome of our project is, our outcomes of our projects are, some of the outcomes are tangible and some of the outcomes are intangible. And we are developing the one technical support system, and course content development, this is intangible outcome. And surveys and camps conducted, this is also intangible. So what is this outcome? Course content development. Yeah, we have identified, and people, especially technical people who are all doing the engineering and medical students, they may be good at their professional studies, professional knowledge, but they are lacking the business strategies. So even though they are having the clear idea on products, they are not succeeding to take their product into the market and commercializing their products. So we need to give the even business strategies. We need to teach them business strategies even from the high school level onwards. So one of my outcome is course content development, taking the curriculum design changes from high school level. And next one is conducting the some survey or awareness camps to the youth, unemployed youth, taking their desires, their requirements. Okay, based on that, we need to take the modification. Another tangible outcome is a technical support system, where we are developing one application, technical support system application. There, the person can get the all sort of information to run their startup company successfully. And this is the layered approach of our technical support system. So users are entrepreneurs. And next one is presentation layer and processor data. And here to get the information, or we are using the in background database, journals, articles, books, repositories, and surveys, status, some analytical methods that we are using. This is the abstract details of layered approach. And here, this is the in detailed technical support system. Here we can see in background we are using the articles, journals, and Facebooks, Twitters, the internal websites, interviews, or some community groups we are using, and surveys. And here we are preparing some bibliographic research. And in spite of this, we are utilizing the census data also, Indian statistical, population statistical, and map tile servers, all this information we are using. With this information we are providing. And one more interesting module in our project is language translation unit. People, some people, especially from the rural background, may not follow the English language. We need to give the facility to them to understand or to get the information to their local language. For that purpose we are using the language translation unit here. So this is the technical support system. And this is the expected outcomes. And I gathered information from these references, the statistics which I presented initially, collected from the unemploymentindia.com and censusindia.gov.com. We taken information from some of the credible websites and internet sources. And I utilized some of the YouTube lectures also, which is already presented for this purpose. under the part of IIC Impact Lecture Series, and some of the information is gathered from this YouTube lecture, and thanks to them. So this is all about the process or product development phases, and especially we focus on the preparation of the prototyping for our real product. Thank you very much.